This video will cover some of the smaller muscles we went over later in the muscle lab. This is the buccinator muscle. It helps us compress our cheeks, like if you're drinking a really thick milkshake. Here is the zygomaticus major muscle. Its origin is the zygomatic bone. This is the platysma, the flat muscle that helps you frown. It's in the neck region, but it attaches to the muscles around the mouth. One of the muscles you need to find is the mylohyoid, and this muscle goes around the bottom of the chin. Mylohyoid. It attaches down to the hyoid bone. The genioglossus goes from the mandible or the chin, genio, to the tongue, glossus. The hyoglossus muscle goes from the hyoid bone to the tongue. The styloglossus muscle goes from the styloid process to the tongue, and the stylohyoid from the styloid process to the hyoid bone. These are all named for their origins and insertions. Stylo, the beginning part, tells us the origin, and glossus, the second part, tells us the insertion. This one also is showing the correct designation for the superior rectus muscle and the levator palpebrae superioris. The rectus muscles attach directly to the eyeball and go straight back in all cases. The oblique muscles are going to turn the eyeball. Here's the teres major and the teres minor. You can see these better on the arm model, so I'll show them to you in another view. Here is the serratus anterior, a serrated looking muscle on the front. This is better for seeing the teres minor and then here the teres major underneath it. Here's the rhomboid major on a different model. And this one is showing the supraspinatus and the infraspinatus muscles. Here is the rhomboid major, the infraspinatus, because it's underneath the spine, and the supraspinatus, because it's above the spine of the scapula. Here's the brachialis muscle. You can see it between the biceps brachii and the triceps brachii. On the back of the forearm, you can see the extensor digitorum, kind of in the middle here. And then on the other side of it, the extensor carpi radialis longus. The brevis is also here, but we're just going to do the longus. Here's the brachioradialis, the pronator teres, the flexor carpi radialis, and the palmaris longus. This muscle here is the flexor carpi ulnaris. You just see part of it. You can see it better from the side. So if we turn it slightly, we can see this flexor carpi ulnaris. Next to that is the extensor carpi ulnaris because it's still on the pinky side. On the side of the thigh is the tensor fascia latae. It's called that because it tenses this iliotibial band. It's a big tendinous band. And when it pulls on it, it pulls the leg out to the side. Or in other words, it abducts the thigh. Here's the psoas major and the iliacus. You needed to know the origin of these, so you can see this one originates on the bodies of the vertebra, and this one originates at the iliac crest and the iliac fossa. On the inside of the thigh is the gracilis. It also helps to adduct the thigh along with the adductor longus and the adductor magnus. On the very front of the tibia is the tibialis anterior, and next to that is the extensor digitorum longus. Notice this extensor digitorum longus has tendons going to the toes.